One night in the city of Veracruz, Mexico, the streets are bustling with music and excitement. A father and his son are performing when suddenly the boy's dog notices a strange ghostly figure. The dog wants to chase it, curious to see what it really is, but instead it comes face to face with a terrifying Chupacabra. It looks like a giant gorilla with purple skin and crimson fur, glowing cat-like green eyes, a towering upright stance and razor-sharp fangs. Even more frightening, it has huge claws on its hands and oversized feet. The man immediately grabs his son and the dog. Running away from the creature, he rushes to warn the townspeople of the looming danger, and chaos quickly spreads through the city. Meanwhile, Fred receives an email from a Mexican friend, inviting Mystery Inc. to visit Mexico and join the Day of the Dead celebration, seeing this as a perfect chance to practice his Spanish. Fred agrees, though he still wants to hear the opinions of the other members. Daphne accepts right away because she loves traveling to new places. Velma also welcomes the idea since she wants to explore the museums and pyramids. As for Scooby-Doo and Shaggy, convincing them is hardly a problem as they spend most of their days doing nothing but eating and sleeping anyway. Soon the whole gang gathers inside their familiar mystery machine and heads straight to Mexico. The road, however, is full of challenges and unpredictable events. After many twists and trials, Mystery Inc. finally arrives at the hotel owned by Fred's friend. This friend Alejo is the one who sends the email, and he also happens to be the owner of the Villa Bella Hotel. His mother, Mrs. Dolores, and his wife Sophia are there as well, along with the rest of the extended family. The moment Scooby-Doo lays eyes on Chiquita, he knows what it feels like to be in love. Wanting to impress her, he boldly attempts a spectacular dive into the swimming pool, and to his delight it works as he captures her heart at once. Later, Alejo introduces the gang to his brother Luis and Luis's fiancée Charlene. Luis admits that from the very first moment he sees Charlene, he already thinks about names for their future children. Afterward, Mystery Inc. shares a warm and lively meal with Alejo's family. Laughter fills the air as everyone enjoys themselves, until suddenly a mysterious man appears. Diego apologizes for interrupting the meal, saying he has urgent matters to discuss. Alejo and Luis welcome him politely and excuse themselves from the table. Mrs. Dolores explains that Diego once worked as a partner with her late husband, though she never trusted him. Meanwhile, Alejo shows clear displeasure toward Diego's proposal. Diego wants to buy back the land that belonged to Alejo's father, but Alejo firmly refuses. He has promised his father before his passing that he will never sell that piece of land. Seeing the atmosphere grow tense, Sophia quickly asks Mystery Inc. what they plan to do on their first day in Veracruz. Velma says she wants to join the Day of the Dead celebration, but Charlene immediately responds by asking if they have heard the rumors about the monster. Suddenly, heavy rain begins to fall, forcing everyone to take shelter inside the hotel. At this point, Alejo tells them about the Chupacabra that he and his son have seen with their own eyes. The encounter has greatly hurt the hotel business since far fewer customers visit now. Velma realizes that the Chupacabra is basically the Mexican version of Bigfoot. Although Alejo is not a superstitious man, he admits that after witnessing the creature's terrifying form, he will never forget that moment. Listening to his description makes Scooby-Doo and Shaggy so frightened that their hearts feel ready to leap out of their chests. Noticing that night has already fallen, Sophia suggests that everyone should rest after a long, exhausting day. Luis and Charlene also remind the gang to lock their doors tightly and not step outside under any circumstance. Following their advice, Scooby-Doo and Shaggy make sure the door is securely locked so the Chupacabra cannot break in. Even though no one goes in or out, the moment they hear the monsters howl, both of them jump in terror. While trying to think of an escape, Scooby-Doo piles more objects against the door, and then he and Shaggy climb up the chimney to get outside. They almost fall from the roof until Fred and Velma arrive just in time. Shaggy explains that they panicked because they heard a noise that sounded like the Chupacabra. Only then does everyone realize that Daphne is still inside the hotel. When Scooby-Doo and Shaggy spot a pair of glowing eyes, they immediately run ahead, but Fred and Velma catch them and make them turn back. Meanwhile, Daphne wakes up after hearing the voices outside. Just as Fred counts to 3, Daphne opens the door to greet them. It turns out the eyes everyone saw were nothing more than a music player that Daphne left on to help her sleep. After that, everyone returns to their rooms, but Fred happens to discover a strange footprint. The trail is not only in front of the door, but stretches from inside the hotel to the outside. Although they are eager to investigate, the night is too dark, so Fred, Velma, and Daphne decide it is safer to wait until morning and go back to sleep. The next day, Mystery Inc. shows up in full force to investigate the case. Alejo and Luis are locals, so they want to lend a hand in searching for more clues. Charlene doesn't want her fiancé to be in danger, so she gives him a lucky charm to ward off the monster. Chiquita doesn't forget to say goodbye to Scooby-Doo. Then Alejo explains that usually at this time of year the place is crowded with tourists, but ever since the Chupacabra appears, people no longer come here. Fred suggests that everyone make a video to promote the town. Velma takes the role of camerawoman while Daphne acts as the reporter. They don't hesitate to talk about how the city of Veracruz is being threatened by a Chupacabra. The kids say it looks like a gorilla, a bear, or even an alien. The adults say it ruins the crops and smells like a wolf or an ape. The Chupacabra will definitely appear tomorrow at the Day of the Dead celebration. If you want to see this mysterious creature just like the Loch Ness Monster, then join us. Mystery Inc. doesn't expect that right after finishing the video, someone scribbles graffiti in Spanish on the mystery machine. Leave here today or you won't see tomorrow. Hearing the threat, Scooby-Doo and Shaggy rush to the mystery machine first, but Velma refuses because she wants to investigate the mystery to the very end. She quickly comes up with a trick, using Scooby snacks to lure Scooby-Doo and Shaggy into joining. If one piece isn't enough, she is ready to use two. And in the end they give in, realizing that the sun is about to set and the Chupacabra will soon be active at night, so everyone splits up. Alejo and Luis go to check the hill. Fred, Velma, and Daphne head west to search, while Scooby-Doo and Shaggy stay behind to guard the mystery machine. That night, too frightened, so Scooby-Doo and Shaggy decide to stay inside the mystery machine, unaware that someone outside is secretly sabotaging it. Meanwhile, Fred, Velma, and Daphne are searching when they suddenly come across a statue. Quetzalcoatl is an important god in Aztec culture, known as the Feathered Serpent. On top of that, Daphne discovers a man who can speak English. Curandero quickly invites the three of them into his tent and asks what they are doing here. We're looking for clues about the Chupacabra monster. It is similar to Bigfoot, but no ancient legend ever mentions this creature. So how do you explain the recent attacks? The only evil force in this land is the boundless greed of humans. The companies from the north offered a large amount of money to build here and attract tourists. But when the locals refused, those companies swore to return one day. The answers to your questions lie in the past, but more importantly, you are in danger. Maybe we should go back to warn the others before Fred, Velma, and Daphne leave. Curandero gives them one last reminder. In Mexico, things are not always what they seem. After saying this, he hands them his business card, which leads to a website where he will answer any questions they send. On the other hand, Alejo and Luis are looking for clues when suddenly Alejo sees the Chupacabra monster. He tries to call Luis's name, but he cannot, so he has no choice but to run away. As a result, Alejo almost loses his life if he does not manage to grab onto a tree branch in time. On the other hand, Scooby-Doo and Shaggy are sleeping when suddenly they hear a roar. Realizing it is the sound of the Chupacabra monster, Shaggy immediately suggests that they should leave this place right away. Meanwhile, Alejo successfully escapes from danger when he climbs up from the cliff. Alejo asks Luis where he has been all this time, and Luis says that someone has hit him on the head and made him unconscious until now. At the same time, Scooby-Doo and Shaggy are looking for a way to run out of here, but now Shaggy realizes that the brake pedal cannot be pressed. The two of them just keep rushing on the road without fear of collision. Even when there is a bridge in front of them, Scooby-Doo and Shaggy still speed straight across to the other side. On the other hand, Fred, Velma, and Daphne are looking for a way out of the forest when they suddenly hear the roar of the Chupacabra monster. The three of them are running away when they accidentally bump into Alejo and Luis. The five of them do not even have time to take a breath when the Chupacabra monster appears right behind them, so they have no choice but to run for their lives. Very soon the five of them return to the mystery machine, but they cannot see the car anywhere. Velma realizes that someone has cut the brake fluid line to harm them. The five of them do not even have time to look for Scooby-Doo and Shaggy when the Chupacabra monster appears again. They have no other choice but to split up to distract it. Seeing Daphne sneaking around, the Chupacabra monster immediately chases after her and ends up getting stuck in the chicken coop. Next, it turns its attention to Velma, but she quickly lures it away with a cactus. Right when the five of them gather together again, Scooby-Doo and Shaggy appear. Not wasting a single second, the two of them immediately pick the five of them up in the car. But everyone still cannot breathe a sigh of relief because the mystery machine is still running at full speed. They secretly think their lives are over right here, but suddenly the car stops because it has run out of petrol. Coincidentally, there is a petrol station nearby, so Fred quickly fills the tank and continues to take everyone on the road. They do not know what they should do next when they see a sign ahead leading to the Anthropology Museum. Wanting to explore the mysteries of Mexico's past, Fred does not hesitate to turn right following the direction, not knowing that someone has deliberately lured them to go where he wants. As soon as dawn breaks, everyone arrives at the Anthropology Museum. The museum guide quickly welcomes Mystery Inc. and introduces that there is a special program for visitors today. After everyone settles into their seats, the museum guide immediately turns the face of the clock to rewind back to the past of the Aztecs. A white smoke quickly appears along with model animals. The warlike Aztecs have many barbaric rituals, such as warriors sacrificing thousands of prisoners on the altars at the top of the pyramids to offer to the gods. Hearing that the museum guide needs a volunteer, Scooby-Doo and Shaggy hide right away. As a result, Daphne is chosen. The moment the museum guide snaps his fingers, everyone on the sacrificial table disappears. Alejo realizes that this could be a kidnapping, and Velma accidentally finds a piece of cloth that is torn from one of the warriors' costumes. Fred wants to see it more clearly and accidentally activates a secret passage. They also have a friend who needs to be rescued, so they go straight down without hesitation. But Shaggy accidentally causes trouble for everyone by activating a trap. Seeing that there is no way ahead, Scooby-Doo immediately uses his body to shield them. When stone pillars are punching down to the ground, everyone quickly dodges. Next comes a furnace that forces everyone to turn around immediately. But it shoots a flame forward to block their way, so they are forced to find another path. Because Shaggy is the one in front, he has no choice but to suffer while everyone climbs over him. After opening the front door, they immediately see pyramids surrounding them. Not only that, Velma also finds Daphne's location. As soon as Daphne escapes on her own, it is also the moment she realizes that she is standing on top of the pyramid. Then everyone continues searching for clues and accidentally falls into the enemy's trap. The statue suddenly shatters and immediately triggers an iron cage rising from underground. The robot eagle says that these people are the cause of the gods' anger, and if they still remain here, the gods will continue to be furious and bring disasters to the world. After saying that, the robot eagle leaves and the iron cage is lowered. But everyone does not expect that the crowd around is already ready to drive them out of this place. While escaping, Daphne accidentally discovers a crack big enough for everyone to crawl inside the pyramid. But inside there are not only scorpions but also giant rats, making everyone want to run away as fast as possible the moment they see them. In no time, everyone runs into a chamber that contains ancient tombs. Velma suggests that they could use the traditional costumes of the native Indians to disguise themselves. Feeling that their intelligence is being insulted, the crowd becomes angry and chases after them, so they have no choice but to continue hiding deeper inside another pyramid. This time they find the area of the native Indians, but they do not expect that the gods are truly furious and now use stone statues to punish them. Scooby-Doo and Shaggy fall onto a tree. Velma and Daphne fall on the back of a stone bird statue. Fred falls right in front of a stone lion statue. And Alejo and Luis bump into a giant statue. Even though both of them hide inside a temple, the giant statue still has no intention of stopping. On the other hand, Scooby-Doo and Shaggy find the robot eagle that blames them, while Fred is being affectionately pressed by two stone lion statues. As soon as the two stone lion statues see the robot eagle, they quickly run to deal with it. At the same time, Velma and Daphne successfully ride on the back of the stone bird statue. Both of them quickly attract its attention in order to rescue Alejo and Luis, and then they land on the head of the giant stone statue, making it destroy itself once and for all. Suddenly Mr. Diego appears, then Fred immediately rushes with the mystery machine to pick up Alejo and Luis, while Velma and Daphne rescue Scooby-Doo along with Shaggy. After that, everyone reunites on the mystery machine to return to the hotel. At night, the Day of the Dead celebration is held. This is not only an occasion of mourning but also a festival to celebrate the temporary return of the souls of the departed so that they can reunite with their families and loved ones. But everyone does not expect that they have an uninvited guest. Not only that, Mrs. Dolores also brings bad news. Charlene has been kidnapped by the Chupacabra monster in broad daylight, and until now her whereabouts are still unknown. Hearing that, Luis immediately wants to go search for his fiancée, but Fred stops him. Then everyone gathers in one place to share their own suspicions. Velma quickly reviews the video and Fred notices a mistake in Spanish writing, a basic mistake so it can be inferred that the culprit is not a native. While everyone is discussing, Mrs. Dolores suddenly appears and says that it is time to perform the ritual. They immediately gather in front of the tombstone of Mrs. Dolores's late husband to carry out the ceremony. A surprise happens that the spirit of the late husband appears. He tells them to sell the hotel to escape the curse, saying that the Chupacabra monster is the result of an evil curse placed on this land. But Alejo realizes something is wrong because this is not his father's voice. Not only that, Fred also discovers that the lucky charm Charlene gave Luis is actually a tracking device. Meanwhile, Scooby-Doo and Chiquita smell an unusual scent. The two of them quickly discover a skeleton that is controlling the spirit of the late husband. Even though it is caught red-handed, the skeleton still has no intention of stopping. Don't try anymore. They are Mexican, so you have to speak Spanish for them to understand. Having no other choice, the skeleton sneaks away, but Daphne immediately catches it. It turns out to be Mr. Smiley. The piece of cloth Velma found is not from a warrior's costumes, but from a leather bag with the words Smiley Entertainment. Mr. Smiley cannot persuade the townspeople to sell their land for his new amusement park, so he turns to Alejo's family. Their hotel is built on some of the best real estate in the city of Veracruz. Because he cannot achieve his goals, so Mr. Smiley invents the story about the Chupacabra monster. But how can he explain the Chupacabra monster right over there while he himself is about to be taken to the police station? It quickly jumps down to terrorize the townspeople. But the Chupacabra monster chooses the wrong people to scare because Mystery Inc. is right here. Daphne, who has never been afraid of anyone, stomps hard on its foot. Next is Velma, who with her 200 IQ immediately hurls a pumpkin that knocks the Chupacabra monster down. But it still does not give up as it secretly jumps onto Scooby-Doo and Shaggy's turtle cart. As a result, it crashes straight into a beehive and gets tangled in strings of lights, causing it to be defeated immediately. Fred quickly unmasks the mystery, revealing that inside is the museum guide. Even though Mr. Smiley insists that she is only following his request, the museum guide immediately denies it, saying, "For love, I am willing to do anything you want." Realizing something is still wrong, so Velma steps forward and tears off the mask of the museum guide. It turns out that Charlene does not love Luis at all, but only wants to use marriage to seize his property. The person Charlene truly loves is Mr. Smiley, so Luis can only helplessly watch as both of them are taken away by the police. At the same time, Mr. Diego appears again. He explains that he no longer has any intention of buying the land, but only wants to warn everyone about the Chupacabra plot, which is why he has been following them throughout the journey. Afterwards, everyone joyfully participates in the Day of the Dead celebration once the mystery has finally been cleared up.